The subject of measuring intelligence and identifying the smartest countries around the world is a fascinating topic that has attracted much attention in recent years. Before we dive into the topic, it is important to acknowledge that assessing intelligence is a complex task. Even though historical figures like Einstein are widely recognized as brilliant, he himself said, "The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know." Likewise, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, had minimal formal education, but he compensated with a hunger for knowledge and self-improvement. Despite having only about 1 year of schooling, Lincoln's exceptional intelligence, leadership qualities, and avid reading habits made him one of the most influential leaders in American history. His remarkable journey challenges the belief that academic achievements alone determine one's intelligence and potential for success. Given these considerations, the question remains, how can we determine a country's level of intelligence? By analyzing educational data and other relevant resources, we can draw some insights. To discover more, stay tuned in this new episode of Visual Economist on the smartest countries in the world. One approach to measure intelligence is through IQ scores. IQ tests are designed to assess cognitive abilities, problem-solving skills, memory, and logical reasoning. According to the World Population Review in 2023, Japan has been ranked as the top country in terms of average IQ scores, indicating a higher level of cognitive abilities among its population. Following closely behind are Taiwan, Singapore, and China, which also demonstrate impressive performances on IQ tests. However, for a more comprehensive assessment, let's turn our attention to the latest report from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD. This report incorporates test results from the Programme for International Student Assessment, PISA, which evaluates 15-year-old students worldwide in the areas of math, reading, and science. OECD provides rankings for each subject, but it also calculates an overall score for each country. In our analysis, we will explore both the overall scores and the performance of each country in individual subjects. Let's begin our exploration of this exciting topic. Number 20. Belgium. Belgium achieved a score of 508 in math, which placed it 15th among participating countries. In science, the country secured the 19th place with a score of 499. However, in reading, it did not make it into the top 20. Number 19. Germany. Germany claimed the 15th place in science with a score of 503. In both math and reading, it was ranked at the 20th place with a score of 500 and 498 respectively. Number 18. Denmark. Denmark secured the 13th place in math with a score of 509 and the 18th place in reading with a score of 501. However, it didn't make it into the top 20 in science. Number 17. Sweden. Sweden performed best in reading, claiming the 11th place with a score of 506. In math, Sweden achieved a joint 17th spot with the UK, both scoring 502. In science, it obtained the 19th place, similar to Belgium, with a score of 499. Number 16. Netherlands. The Dutch claimed the 9th place in math with a score of 512, and the 15th place in science with a score of 503. In reading, however, they did not make it into the top 20. Number 15. New Zealand. The Kiwis weren't in the top 20 for math, but reached the 12th place in science with a score of 508, and the 11th place in reading with a score of 506. Number 13. United Kingdom. The UK obtained the 14th position in both science and reading. In the math category, it secured the 17th spot, sharing the rank with Sweden, with a score of 502. Slovenia got the same overall score as the UK and was ranked at the 13th place as well. It achieved the 13th position in math with a score of 509 and the 13th position again in science with a score of 507. However, it narrowly missed the top 20 in reading. Number 12. Ireland obtained the 20th place in math with a score of 500, a commendable 8th place in reading with a score of 518, but did not make it into the top 20 in science. Number 11. Poland. In math, Poland was just behind the Netherlands, securing the 10th position with a score of 516. In reading, Poland achieved the 10th position again with a score of 512. And in science, it secured the 11th place with a score of 511. Number 10. Finland. Finland, known for its strong education system, obtained a 6th place in science with a score of 522, 7th place in reading with a score of 520, and the 16th place in math with a score of 507. Number 8. Canada. Canada performed well across all subjects, achieving 12th place in math with a score of 512, a commendable 6th place in reading with a score of 520, and 8th place in science with a score of 518. Number 8. Taiwan. Taiwan shared the 8th place with Canada in the overall PISA rankings. It excelled in math, claiming 5th place with a score of 531. In science, Taiwan secured 10th place with a score of 516 and attained the 16th position in reading with a score of 503. Number 7. South Korea. South Korea continued the trend of impressive performance by Asian countries. It achieved 7th place in both math and science with scores of 526 and 519 respectively. In reading, South Korea claimed the 9th spot with a score of 514. Number 6. Japan. Japan secured 6th place in math with a score of 527. In reading, it claimed the 14th position with a score of 504, while in science, Japan's outstanding performance earned it 5th place with a score of 529. Number 5. Estonia. Estonia demonstrated remarkable progress in its educational outcomes, achieving 8th place in math with a score of 523 and securing an impressive 4th place in science with a score of 530. In reading, Estonia claimed 5th place with a score of 523. Number 4. Hong Kong. Hong Kong achieved an outstanding 4th place in math with a score of 551. In reading, it also claimed the 4th spot with a score of 524. And in science, Hong Kong secured the 9th place with a score of 517. Number 3. Macau, China. Macau reached an impressive 3rd place across all subjects. It scored 558 in math, 544 in science, and 525 in reading. Macau's education system has shown rapid development and improvement, making it a top performer in the PISA rankings. Number 2. Singapore. Singapore performed exceptionally well, claiming the 2nd place in every category. It scored 569 in math, 551 in science, and 549 in reading. Singapore's education system is highly regarded for its focus on critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and professional development for teachers. Number 1. China. China secured the top position in all categories, outperforming every other country. It achieved a remarkable score of 590 in science, 591 in math, and 555 in reading. China's success can be attributed to its strong emphasis on academic excellence, dedicated teachers, and high levels of investment in education. As mentioned earlier, these scores do not necessarily indicate that China is solely composed of exceptionally gifted students. Rather, on average, Chinese students demonstrate proficiency in test-taking. However, it is essential to recognize that these tests do not measure creativity, which is a crucial aspect of success. Assessing creativity is a challenging task. When considering the overall rankings of countries, if certain rankings appear questionable, we recommend examining the performance in each individual subject separately. This approach allows for a more nuanced understanding of the student's strengths and weaknesses in specific areas. It's also important to note that the PISA rankings are just one measure of educational performance and should not be the sole basis for evaluating the quality of an education system. Many factors contribute to a country's education outcomes, and there are various ways to improve educational performance, such as targeted policies to address disparities, investing in teacher professional development, and implementing evidence-based educational practices. The absence of the United States from the top 20 countries' rankings might strike you. Any thoughts on the possible reasons for this? Thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you again in the next video.